Hey there, how are you doing today? I hope you're feeling awesome.
Ha ha ha, I'm doing great. Really happy to be here.
Oh, that's so good to hear. I was just thinking before we pressed record, we have so many students listening right now who might be feeling a little bit nervous.
Nervous about what?
Well, that feeling when you have to speak English and suddenly your mind goes blank. Or maybe you're thinking about that big test, the TOEFL, and you just feel your stomach getting a little tight.
Oh yeah, totally. I know that feeling. It's like you know what you want to say in your head, but the journey from your brain to your mouth gets stuck somewhere.
Exactly. It happens to the best of us. But hey, if you are listening right now and you have ever felt that way, take a deep breath because this episode is specifically for you.
For sure. We're going to dive into something super practical today.
Yeah. Welcome back to Learning English Studio, everyone. I'm Amelia.
And I'm James. It's so good to have you all here with us. Today is going to be a little different. We're not just talking about grammar rules or vocabulary lists today. Nope. We are talking about the TOEFL speaking section, but more importantly, we are talking about how to sound fluent and confident even when you're nervous.
Yes, fluency and confidence, the magic words.
Exactly. So James, before we get into the nitty-gritty, let's just have a quick chat about what the speaking section actually feels like for a student sitting in that exam room.
Oh man, it's intense. You have headphones on, you're in a room with maybe 10 or 20 other people. Everyone is talking at the same time.
That sounds like my worst nightmare.
Right? It's chaotic, and you have this microphone staring at you. The clock is ticking down on the screen, 45 seconds, 30 seconds, and you just have to start talking.
Yeah, and I think a lot of students make the mistake of thinking that fluency means speaking really, really fast, like a machine gun.
Oh, that's a huge myth. Speed isn't fluency. In fact, if you speak too fast, you trip over your words, you make grammar mistakes, and the examiner can't understand you.
Exactly. So if speed isn't the answer, what is? How do we hack this system?
Well, let's think about it. Fluency is really about flow. It's about keeping the conversation going without stopping for long, awkward pauses. It's like riding a bicycle. You keep pedaling, you keep moving forward, even if the road gets a little bumpy.
I like that analogy. Riding a bicycle. So you don't stop, you just keep moving.
Yep. And today, we're going to share some specific hacks, some little tricks that students can use to keep those pedals turning.
Awesome. Where should we start? Is there a mindset shift we need to make first?
Definitely. The first hack is purely mental. It's about realizing that the TOEFL is not a normal conversation.
That's interesting. Tell me more about that.
Well, in a real conversation with a friend, you interrupt, you ask questions, you say, wait, what? But in TOEFL, you're the only one talking. You have to accept that it's a performance.
A performance?
Yes. So hack number 1 is don't aim for perfection, aim for completion.
Oh, that is powerful. Don't aim for perfection, aim for completion.
Right. Many students stop mid-sentence because they realize they made a grammar error. They go back and correct themselves. Yesterday I went to the store. That kills your fluency score.
So it's better to just keep going.
100%. If you say go instead of went, keep talking. The examiner isn't counting every single little grammar mistake if the rest of your speech is clear and easy to follow. If you stop and correct yourself, you break the rhythm.
That makes so much sense. So let go of the need to be perfect.
Exactly. For example, imagine you are answering a question about your favorite place to study. You might say, I prefer study in the library because it is very quiet and I can focus on my work. You missed to study, right? You said prefer study.
Yeah.
A lot of students would panic, but if you just keep going, I prefer study in the library because it is very quiet and I can focus on my work. The listener understands you perfectly. You recovered.
Haha, nice. So it's about the bigger picture.
Yes. So that is the first piece of advice. Forgive yourself quickly and move on.
I love that. Forgive yourself quickly. Okay, so what about when you truly don't know what to say? You look at the topic and your mind is just empty white space.
Oh, yeah. Heart starts pounding.
Well, hack number 2 is all about preparation structures, templates.
Templates. Are those allowed, or is that cheating?
No, not at all. Using a structure is not cheating, it's smart. Think about it. When you build a house, you use a frame. You don't just stack bricks randomly.
True. A frame helps it stand up.
Right. So for the independent speaking tasks, task 1, you should have a mental template ready, a simple one.
Can you give us an example of a simple template?
Sure, it could be as simple as, personally, I believe option A is better for 2 main reasons. First, reason 1, for example, detail. Second, reason 2, for instance, detail. Therefore, that is why I choose option A.
Oh, wow, that is clear. So you just plug in your ideas.
Exactly. It does 2 things. 1, it organizes your thoughts so you sound logical. And 2, when you're nervous, you just follow the map. You don't have to think about, how do I start? You already know the start.
That's such a confidence booster. It's like having GPS when you're lost in a new city.
Exactly. GPS for speaking. I like that.
But wait, James, if everyone uses the same template, won't the examiner get bored or think it's robotic?
That's a good question. The key is how you fill in the blanks. If your examples are personal and detailed, it won't sound robotic. The template is just the skeleton. Your personality is the muscle and skin.
Nice.
Also, you don't want to sound like a robot reading a script. You need to use natural connectors. Instead of just saying, first, second, you can say, the main reason is, or another thing to consider is, or on top of that.
Right. Variety in transition words helps it sound natural.
Yes, so structure is hack number 2. It saves you from that mind blank moment because you already have a plan.
Okay, so forgive mistakes and have a structure. What's next? Let's move on to the actual speaking part. How do we sound more like a native speaker, or at least a high-level speaker?
Okay, this is my favorite one. Hack number 3, master the art of buying time.
Buying time.
Yes, you know when someone asks you a difficult question and you go, for 5 seconds?
Yes, the long,
Right, that hurts your score. In English, we use filler words or filling phrases to occupy that space while we think.
Oh, like and ah?
Well, and ah are okay, but they're weak. They make you sound unsure. Better options are phrases like, well, that's actually a really interesting topic. I would have to say that I mostly agree with that idea for a couple of reasons.
Wow, just that little opening sentence makes you sound so much more fluent.
It does. It sounds like you are in control of the conversation.
So practicing these little phrases is actually just as important as practicing grammar.
Absolutely. I tell students to make a list of 5 thinking phrases and memorize them, like a safety net.
That's great advice. Let's think about the integrated tasks then. Tasks 3 and 4, where you have to read and listen before you speak. That seems way harder because you have to process information.
Oh, for sure. It's a multitasking nightmare if you aren't prepared.
So how do we hack that? You listen, you take notes, and then what?
Okay, for integrated tasks, the biggest hack is don't repeat everything.
Don't repeat everything?
No. A lot of students try to summarize the reading passage in the lecture in full detail. They run out of time immediately.
Ah, right. The clock is ticking down.
Yeah. Hack number 4, focus on the signal words.
Signal words.
Yes. In the lecture, the professor will use specific words to show the structure. Words like, however, therefore, in contrast, for example, specifically.
Okay.
Your ears need to perk up when you hear these words. Why? Because the information after those words is usually the most important information. That is the stuff you need to report.
Oh, that's clever. So you were listening for the road signs, not just the scenery.
Perfect analogy. You are listening for the road signs. If you hear, however, you know the professor is about to introduce a counter-argument or a problem. That is gold. You write that down.
So, note-taking strategy is key here.
Huge. Don't try to write full sentences. You can't write that fast. Use abbreviations. Use arrows.
Can you give us an example of what your notes might look like?
Sure. Let's say the topic is business. The reading talks about loyalty programs. The lecture disagrees. I might write, reading. Loyalty pro equals good for biz. Lecture. However, big arrow down. Not always. X, coffee shop. Costly for customers. Result, leave.
Oh, wow, that is so fast and simple.
Right? Then when I speak, I look at my notes and say, according to the reading, loyalty programs are beneficial for businesses. However, the professor disagrees with this. He argues that these programs are not always good, using the example of a coffee shop. He mentions that, see, my notes trigger my memory.
That is brilliant. It turns the speaking task into a reading task for a few seconds.
Exactly. You were just reading your map out loud.
Nice. Okay, let's shift gears a little bit and talk about confidence. You can have all the hacks in the world, but if you're shaking with fear, you can't speak well.
True. Confidence is a muscle. You have to build it.
How do we build that muscle, especially for students who are shy?
Well, hack number 5 is actually something you can do at home, alone. It's called shadowing.
Shadowing. I've heard of this. Is it like repeating after someone?
Yes, but with a twist. You don't just repeat, you try to mimic their emotion, their speed, and their pauses exactly. So you find a TED Talk or a podcast episode, maybe even Learning English Studio.
Yes.
You listen to a sentence, pause it, and say it exactly the same way. If the speaker goes, you go, If they smile while saying a word, you try to smile while saying it.
Oh, that's cool. So you are physically practicing the feeling of being fluent.
Yes, it connects your brain to your mouth muscles. After doing this for 10 minutes a day, your mouth gets used to the English sounds. When you go into the exam, your brain goes, hey, I've done this before.
That is such a great practical tip. It's like going to the gym for your tongue.
The gym for your tongue, I like that.
Okay, we have covered a lot of ground. Perfection versus completion, templates, buying time, signal words, and shadowing. Is there anything else that students often forget?
Let me think. Oh yes, intonation.
Intonation. That goes up and down, right?
Right. Monotone is boring. If you speak in a flat voice, like a robot, the examiner will tune out. It's hard to listen to. You need to put music in your voice.
Music in your voice. I love that phrase.
How do you do that? It's actually simple. When you answer a question, pretend you're telling your best friend some really exciting news.
Oh, so your energy goes up.
Exactly. Even if the topic is boring, like describe a type of government policy, you try to find the energy. You emphasize key words. The government shared a new policy that helps small businesses.
I can hear the difference just now. It's much more engaging.
It is. And believe it or not, good intonation can actually hide small grammar mistakes because the listener is focused on your enthusiasm and clarity.
That is a great superpower to have.
It really is. So, to summarize, if you're listening, remember, keep moving, use a map, use filler words smartly, listen for signals, practice like an actor, and sing your answer.
Sing your answer. I love that. You know, James, as we're talking, I'm realizing that so much of this is just about being kind to yourself. Like you said, forgive your mistakes, use structures to help you. It's like giving yourself a safety net so you can relax.
Exactly. The TOEFL exam is stressful enough. You don't need to be your own enemy in there. Be your own coach.
Be your own coach. That is beautiful. It reminds me of a story I heard about a famous piano player.
Oh, tell me.
Well, he was practicing a difficult piece and he kept making mistakes. He got so frustrated. His teacher told him, the mistake isn't the problem. The problem is that you stopped to look at the mistake. Keep playing and the music will fix itself.
Wow, that is exactly what we're talking about with fluency. Keep playing the music.
Yeah, so if you're preparing for TOEFL or maybe IELTS or just a job interview, remember, your English is a song. Don't stop the song just because you hit one wrong note.
That is such a lovely image. Amelia, that was very poetic.
Thank you, I try.
But seriously, I hope everyone listening takes that to heart. Fluency is flow.
So true. Okay, we're coming up on the end of our time together today, which makes me a little sad because I could talk about this all day.
Me too. It's so fun to break this down.
Before we go, I want to try a quick exercise with you, James, just to show everyone how easy it is to use these hacks in real time.
Oh, you want to put me on the spot?
Yes, I'm going to give you a TOEFL-style question right here, right now. No preparation. Ready?
Okay, I'm ready. My heart is beating a little faster.
Good, that's natural. Okay, here's your question. Some people prefer to work in a team environment. Others prefer to work alone. Which do you prefer and why?
Okay, let's see. Buying time. That is an interesting question. I would say that I definitely prefer working in a team environment for two main reasons.
Nice structure.
First, I believe that collaboration leads to better ideas. When you work alone, you only have your own perspective. But in a team, you get different viewpoints. For instance, when I was in university, we did a group project for a marketing class. My teammate had an idea I never would have thought of, and we got a great grade.
Great example.
Second, working in a team provides emotional support. Work can be stressful, so having colleagues to help you or just chat with makes the day go faster. So, for those reasons, I prefer teamwork over working alone.
That was perfect.
Phew! I did it!
You used the structure, you used for instance, you didn't stop, it was fluent.
Thanks. It shows that these hacks really do work if you practice them.
Absolutely. So, dear listeners, did you hear how James did that? You can do that too. Just takes a little bit of bravery and a lot of practice.
Exactly. Don't be afraid to speak out loud, even if it's just to your mirror or your cat.
Yes, your cat is a great listener.
Very non-judgmental.
All right, everyone, that brings us to the end of another episode of Learning English Studio. We hope you found these hacks helpful for your TOEFL prep or just for your general English confidence.
Yeah, and remember, if you liked this episode, please share it with a friend who might be struggling with their speaking. Help them out.
Yes, and now we want to hear from you guys. We have a little interactive segment for you.
Oh, fun! What do we have for them today?
Okay, I want to know, out of all the hacks we talked about today, which one are you going to try first this week?
That's a good one. Let me give you the options so you can comment down below.
Option A, the shadowing technique, practicing with podcasts and videos. Option B, using the templates to structure your answers. Or option C, mastering thinking phrases to buy time.
Yeah, tell us. Just write A, B, or C in the comments. Or if you have a different strategy that works for you, tell us about it.
We love reading your comments and seeing you guys engage. It makes our day. Also, if you have a funny story about a mistake you made while speaking English, share it with us. Remember, mistakes are just learning moments.
Definitely. We are all in this together. Learning a language is a journey, not a race.
Beautifully said, James. Well, thank you so much for listening, guys. Keep practicing, keep smiling, and remember to keep those wheels turning.
Keep the wheels turning. Bye for now, everyone. See you in the next episode.
Bye, take care. So James, that was fun, but we actually have a little bit more time, right?
Oh, we do? Do we have time for a deep dive?
I think we do. You know, we covered the hacks, but we didn't really talk about pronunciation. I think students get super stressed about their accent.
Oh, that is a big topic. The accent myth.
Yeah, so many students think, if I don't sound like an American from the movies, I will fail.
Ah, that is such a harmful thought. It is simply not true. You know, on the TOEFL exam, there are raters from all over the world, US, UK, Australia.
Right.
They are trained to understand all types of accents. As long as your pronunciation is clear and comprehensible, you can get a perfect score.
You don't need to sound like a Hollywood actor.
So, what is the difference between accent and pronunciation?
Great question. Your accent is your unique fingerprint. It comes from your native language. Pronunciation is about saying the sounds correctly so that the meaning is clear. For example, if I say ship, but it sounds like sheep, that's a pronunciation problem because the meaning changes. That hurts your score.
Oh, yeah.
But if I say sheep with a Spanish accent or a Korean accent, but it still sounds like sheep, that is perfectly fine. That is just an accent.
That is so liberating to hear. It takes the pressure off.
Exactly. So hack number 6 is focus on the core sounds.
Core sounds?
Yes, English has a few specific sounds that are difficult for many learners, like the TH sound in think or this, or the V in B difference, or the L and R.
Right.
If you can just master those tricky sounds, your clarity will go up instantly. You don't need to change your whole voice. Just fix the few sounds that confuse the listener.
Can you give us a quick tip for the TH sound? That one is notoriously hard.
Sure, it's about the tongue position. You have to stick your tongue slightly between your teeth and blow air out. Think.
Think.
Yes, many speakers are shy to stick their tongue out. It feels weird.
It does feel a little silly.
But you have to do it. If you keep your tongue behind your teeth, it sounds like sink or tink. So practice in front of a mirror. Make sure you see the tip of your tongue.
That is such practical advice. Okay, what about intonation again? We touched on it, but let's go deeper. How do you actually teach someone to change their music?
Well, English is a stress-timed language.
Stress-timed? That sounds technical.
It's not too bad. It means that the important words in a sentence, like nouns, verbs, and adjectives, are stressed. They are longer and louder.
Okay.
The small words like to, the, at, of are squeezed in quickly.
Ah, so I want to go to the store.
Exactly. I want to go to the store. If you say every word with the same power, I want to go to the store, you sound like a robot.
Or like a police officer writing rights.
Yes, very monotone. So to sound friendly and fluent, you need to find the music.
It's almost like dancing.
It is. You step on the strong beats and glide through the weak ones.
I like that. So students should listen to music maybe?
Actually, yes. Listening to English songs and singing along is fantastic for rhythm. You don't even have to understand every word. Just feel the beat.
That's a fun way to study.
Definitely. And movies. Watch a romantic comedy, not an action movie. Why? Because in romantic comedies, people talk a lot. There's a lot of emotion. In action movies, it's just explosion, run, shoot. Not as helpful for speaking.
That's true. Watch Friends or something like that.
Exactly. Friends is great because the emotions are clear.
Okay, let's talk about a specific strategy for the day of the exam. You wake up, you're nervous, you have your breakfast. What is the routine?
Well, first of all, eat something, but not something too heavy. You don't want to fall asleep during the reading section.
And no spicy food.
No spicy food. You need to feel comfortable. Then I recommend a warm-up.
Like stretching, but for the mouth?
Yes, vocal warm-ups. Go to the exam center early, sit in your car or a quiet corner, and just speak English for 10 minutes. Read a news article out loud. Talk to yourself.
Why is that important?
Because for many students, the first time they speak English that day is in the exam. That is scary.
Oh, wow, that is so true. You are cold.
Exactly. Your brain is like, whoa, English? Now? You need to warm up the engine first. If you speak for 10 minutes before the test, by the time you get to the speaking section, your brain is already in English mode.
That is a massive hack. Warm up your voice before the test.
It really helps with confidence, too. You remind yourself, hey, I can speak this language.
I wish I knew that when I was taking exams. I used to sit there silently, staring at the wall, worrying.
Yeah, don't stare at the wall.
Talk to the wall.
Talk to the wall. That is going to be our new motto.
But seriously, don't be embarrassed. Do what you need to do to get that score.
Right, so we have covered a lot in this extended segment too. Accent versus pronunciation, core sounds, stress timing, and the pre-exam warm-up.
Yeah, I hope this helps demystify the speaking section for everyone.
You know, looking back at all these tips, it really seems like the barrier isn't intelligence. The barrier is just fear and practice methods.
I completely agree. You don't need to be a genius to get a 26 or higher on TOEFL speaking. You just need to be strategic.
Strategic. Be smart about how you practice.
Yes, don't just practice talking. Practice using the hacks. Record yourself, listen to it, and say, did I use a filler word there? Did I pause too long there?
That sounds painful, though. I hate hearing my own voice.
Nobody likes hearing their own voice. It sounds so weird.
I know, right? Is that what I actually sound like?
But it is the fastest way to improve. You are your own best teacher. You will hear mistakes that the examiner hears that you didn't realize you were making.
So, embrace the cringe?
Embrace the cringe. It's worth it.
Okay, any final words of wisdom before we wrap up this super long episode?
I would say trust the process. It might feel slow. You might feel like you aren't improving week to week, but if you keep doing the shadowing, keep using the templates, keep warming up, one day you will realize you were just speaking. You aren't translating in your head anymore. It just flows.
That is the dream. Just flow.
It will happen, I promise. I've seen it hundreds of times with students.
That is very reassuring, James. Thank you so much for sharing all this today. I feel like I learned a ton, and I'm a native speaker.
Well, even native speakers can improve their communication skills.
True. We all ramble.
We definitely do.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for sticking with us for this deep dive into TOEFL speaking. We really hope it helps you on your journey.
Keep practicing, keep recording, and remember to forgive your mistakes.
And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe to Learning English Studio so you don't miss the next episode. We have more great content coming up.
And please, if you have a moment, leave us a review. It helps other students find us.
Yes, we love reading your reviews. They make us smile.
Okay, I think that's it for today. Be good to yourselves.
Bye, guys.
See you next time.
Wait.
What now?
I just thought of one more thing. What about technology? Do you recommend using apps like ChatGPT to practice?
Oh, that is a very modern question. Yes, absolutely.
Really?
Yes, AI is great for simulating the test. You can say to ChatGPT, give me a random TOEFL independent speaking topic, and then you can record your answer and ask it to grade you or give you feedback.
Does it work?
It's not perfect, but it is very good for practicing structure and vocabulary. It can tell you didn't provide enough specific details, or your grammar here was a bit repetitive.
That's amazing. You have a 24-hour study partner.
Exactly, but don't rely on it for everything. You still need human interaction sometimes.
Right, because computers don't have feelings.
No, they don't. And communication is about feelings, too.
Good point. Okay, seriously, that is the last thing.
Okay.
Have a great week, everyone.
Bye, guys.